got 25 minutes. We got to go.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. We're excited to have you on with us. It's a hump day for many of us, but we're excited if you are a first timer or if you are already a part of Say That Nation, welcome. My name is Janelle Villiers. That over there is Winston Broderick, and we are your co-hosts. Where at Say That channel, we are unapologetic about talking about the ugly come up of entrepreneurship. So you know how you've all heard that story about someone who started from nothing and then has massive succce. And you're like, but what happens in the middle? What happens during the ugly come up? Well, that's what we're here to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. All of the things that we need to know. And we have been truly blessed over the years. We were just talking about how this is 4 years since we've been doing this, to have a lot of guests come and join us and share their insight, knowledge, and wisdom with us. It's really amazing to have them. And we only have 25 minutes to answer the question. And then when we run out of time, what do? Oh, no. Well, just go to Patreon. You can see the link right there. It's also in the description box below. Jump on Patreon. You'll catch all of the recordings of all of our past guests, and over time, a lot of amazing nuggets there. Tons of value there. So definitely check that out. But today is another Wednesday. So that means another topic, another guest. We're really excited to be back and see all of you. If this is your first time, go ahead and put a 1 in the comments. If you are a part of Say That Nation, go ahead and put STN for Say That Nation in the comments so we can shout you out. So,
here's today's topic.
Actually, no. So today's topic is.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Hold on.
It's live, people. Live.
Yes.
All right. For anyone else, while Janelle takes care of that, just make sure if you've never seen it or if you've missed some of our last episodes, go back and check out any of the episodes that we tag at the end. They're always a lot of value. And if you've not yet done so, go check out our Monday rundown. We've been actually hearing a lot of those and having a lot of fun over there.
All right. Thank you for that, Winston. So today's topic is your business connected for success?
Perfect. Thank you.
So really excited because it is not just us who are going to answer today's question. We have an amazing guest with us. She is a mother, a wife. She is a founder of her own coaching company. She is now an expert in helping people get connected all over, the world, really. So that way they can do better in their businesses. Please, everybody, give a big, big welcome to Pattie Craumer.
Our next guest.
There she is.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to have you with us. And so for folks that don't know you, Pattie, please tell everybody how you got into your line of business.
All right. Okay. It's so great to be here. And the topic that was pre-displayed, oh God, I could have answered that, but I'm glad I'm not today. This reminds me how hard I work, which is not really the point of this. But anyway, how did I get in my current line of work? Life happens, and we move along as things grab our attention, and we just keep going because new things come up. At least that's my personality. And I see something new and I say, could I be good at that? Could I really serve other people in that? Does it expand my own life? And is it worth it to me to spend my time there? And so that's really how I came to become a coach. When I asked those questions, after having been an educator and, worked in a lot of corporate environments, I said, what can I do best with what I have to work with, and how do all the different pieces of who I am really come together? And so hence the name of my business, the Mosaic Effect, and representative of the different things that I've done over the years.
Very cool.
That is really cool. Well, then I'm sure folks can understand then that based on your background, you've connected with a lot of people. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic. Is your business connected for success? What are your thoughts on this?
How many times have I asked myself that question, which is also kind of funny. And how we all connect. We connect in so many different ways. We connect in the people way. We connect in the tools that we use. We connect with the ahas that lead us down new channels. We connect in, relationships that teach us things we didn't want to learn, but we find a way to make bonus from them, so to speak. And so I would say, when I look at that, is my business connected for success? More recently, yes, because I found some pieces that pull things together in a way that I have been looking for over the years. I've met people all over the world, especially since we became, a global online community. In some ways, that's really not enough to connect your business for success. It might connect you, but it doesn't necessarily connect your business for success. And you need tools.
Oh, good point. Good point.
So then you add things to that, connection piece. And God, I could go off in a million different directions with this. Networking is like such a buzzword. And I love networking, but I really like more just meeting people. And the network, in my opinion, usually takes care of itself. So that's what I would say in short order.
There's something you said, Patty, that stood out to me. I was actually very interested. The idea that a person can be connected to a lot of people, thinking they know a lot of people, but their business isn't getting any of the effects of that. And that's actually very interesting, because I know, a lot of people who go to networking events, like you brought up, they know a ton of people there, in their mind, very connected, but their business isn't seeing any growth from that activity. What would you say is how do you flip that? How do you turn that activity of going to those events into actually, or having it positively affect your business?
Yeah, exactly. And it depends really on the personality of, what turns you on. Once you know all those people, how do they become part of a community that you can leverage? And there are several things. One, it's always the give back. It's always the circular effect. So I might know somebody who is in my network, and at the same time, I am in a networking group right now, and the message of that network is really all about, give what somebody else needs from you, and what you need will come back. And I think that's been said so many times, and maybe a little more perfectly than I just said it. But I also think that that's a subtle point of building relationships and having people that you know everywhere, is making sure that the relationships are grounded in something more than just a network. And also, I think, to get excited about the relationship, because what do you give in that can be an exciting thing. Like, I met a woman in Australia through a coaching platform, and we hit it off, and she had a tool called Positive Prime, which is a mindset priming tool. And the mindset priming tool got my attention. I mean, I liked her, but the tool was what got my attention first. And over the years, I've used that tool in my business. It's been a great conversation starter. It's been a way for me to make connections. But it really was the tool that came out of the relationship that helped me to leverage more connections and build, some of that success.
Very so. So it's clearly the way you approach it, like your intention in these relationships.
Yeah. And that's what I said. We all relate to people differently and build differently. So, if I say, is my business connected for success? This would be the formula that's worked for me. If we flip it and say, is your business connected for success? What are your skill sets and what is your magic? And that really speaks back to the coaching business I have called the Mosaic Effect. The power is in the pieces that make up you. So I may have all kinds of wisdom and cool stuff to say, and we can extrapolate from each other what we like, but then we have to apply it in what works for us, because all the pieces of our lives come together differently. And that's the genius of people.
Very well said.
Yes, I actually love that. I have a similar way of networking. I create relationships. So like all of this is resonating with me. I'm like, yep. I really get that. So tell people a little bit more practically about some of the networking organizations that you have been a part of, and how they've enhanced what you are already doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. So the one that I mentioned that recently has kickstarted some of my business relationships is really a small group of people who are growing, and the message is to really help each other and be in a community with each other. Most networking organizations do not build community. And I think community is another buzzword these days. It's something we've been lacking since COVID, and we all want it. And the online world does not typically feel warm and cozy. You know, it can, but it often doesn't. So, how do we create something that is a community feel when the mission of the organization is to help people network?
Yeah.
And in some ways, I think community is the missing piece, which is what this organization has provided to me, is that feeling of, hey, I want to give you some connections and I actually care about you in the process. That's just, it's like some really nice water to drink. It feels good when you go to that pool.
Say that.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah. So that would be one thing I would say, you know, with networking is having a community. And then I joined another organization, which is all about, it's called Polka Dot Powerhouse. And it's really all about women, not to grow their business, but to grow themselves and be, again, filling the voids of your life when you aren't on the work platform. And we spend so much time on the work platform, but we all know that the work platform is not standing alone in our lives. It's connected to everything else we do.
Everything else. Yeah. Great point.
So that group I really like because it does not focus on business. So as you don't focus on your business, guess what happens? Business comes up.
Yeah.
But it's flipped again. It's flipped on that space of, I see you as a person.
Right.
I'm interested in you and all the things that make you you. And let's get to know each other. And then, oh, you also do this. Oh, you sell promo pieces. Oh my gosh, you have a landscaping business. And you know, things go from there. So I think when we go back to my question, is your business connected for success? Sometimes it means thinking out of what you think of for connection, like social media. Yeah, it's really great. But what if there's so much more than the standard bearers of our connection that we carry so much today?
No, that's a great point. Actually, when the initial question came up, I actually thought more marketing. You know, I thought it was a question of, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was during the whole COVID times where essentially if your business wasn't on some type of platform where people weren't able to, you know, see you visually anymore, you kind of lost. I know obviously a lot of businesses closed. What would you say to a person where maybe their proclivity is not to be in a lot of these social groups, but they are looking to do something digitally? Is that a part of what you guys do? Maybe at the Mosaic Effect or in any of the networking groups?
Yeah, another group that I'm very heavily involved with right now is called Be Connected, and it is a platform. It is a digital platform for connection for entrepreneurs to connect. But it's more than just connection. So it's a place where you can bring a bunch of different aspects of your business together, and in an easy way to grow your community, to build your authority, to share your content and make money. So I think it's really exciting time right now, because if we look even 4 years back to COVID and what has changed since then and what new things are coming up, we just have to, it's so much work sometimes, but you have to pay attention because things are not staying the same. And
they're moving fast.
Yeah, moving really fast. And the more people stay where they are, I think the less they have the connections that will carry them forward. If you have a business that's a few years old, that's really great that you've made it that far. And it demands of you that's a different, that continue up leveling of your awareness and saying yes to new things. I think an entrepreneur who isn't inspired by change is going to have a few more struggles than the people who say, oh yeah, I like change.
Yeah. Adapt and overcome.
Oh, 100%. Interestingly enough, I don't know if either of you got emails around this, but Working Live and Zoom have decided to go separate ways. So Working Live gave a lot of organizations access to Zoom accounts. So organizations like universities, schools, large, companies, things like that. And so if they're separating, you no longer have a Zoom account. And so this is actually making space for, well, what else is there besides Zoom? Like, Zoom can only do so much. Are there other platforms out there that allow us to do other things, like connect from kind of like StreamYard? I mean, shout out to StreamYard, where you're able to go straight from here, a live video, and then also post on your social media. Are there links where people can purchase while they're listening to you talk, or go download a document while they're listening to you talk, things like that. Zoom doesn't have access to those things. And so I feel like as you're talking,
opportunity for somebody to
current in the moment change that's happening.
Yeah, those are really good points. And this one platform that I'm using now and very happy with, called Be Connected, they have that. They have these things called call to action buttons. So you could be on a live show and you can say, hey, please just go to my calendar link, and the button's right there, click. Or, hey, I'd like you to check out my website, or sign up for my program, or buy my product. If you're a network marketer, buy my product, or anybody else. And it's very smooth and effortless to say, oh, click this button, I'm on my way. And I think that, the fun thing about, is your business connected for success? What are the things that you want? And then where can you find them? Like on this platform that I'm talking about now, one of the things we know that everybody wants is, again, as seamless of a process as possible to bring somebody into a show, gather the leads, find out who came to the show, have an immediate way to send out to those people who came your message. So it becomes an onboarding, an offboarding, and a presencing in the middle of everything a small business owner wants, that saves time and money.
Very true. Very true.
So,
and even in thinking about this, where there's obviously a sense of, you got to kind of think of the future, right? Like, I know there's, I wouldn't say, if we use like entrepreneur, there's this sense of like, you kind of always, not always, but it feels kind of day by day. You're kind of taking your business, you do have to make adjustments. If people are dealing with shipping issues, all these different things kind of come up. For us, sometimes digitally, it's like somebody gets kicked off because the internet's like, it's whatever you're in, there's a thing that could obviously go wrong. And in my mind, I think when we think long term, like even when Janelle and I started with this, we've a publishing company has come out of something that we started here. How do you, or with coaching clients, where do you kind of coach them to see the future of their business? Is it just simply profits, or is it, hey, what other things could you do? This might be a nice platform, but what else could you add to this?
Okay, so make sure I understand the question. So what can I add to this platform? What would be something that somebody wants? Or if I'm coaching a client.
If you're coaching there we go.
All right. So one of the things that I like, we all are who we are. So my ideas always are populating. When I'm talking to somebody, I'm thinking, oh wow, what if this is possible? What if I could do this? So I want to help people to get to their sweet spot. So if your business isn't connected for success, I would ask somebody along the way of a coaching experience with me, is your business the business that you want to have? Is your business connected because you want to make those connections because that's what you really love to do? Or is your business not connecting well enough because you're pulling back because those things don't really align with who you are or how you like to show up in the world or something like that? So, for example, everything is AI these days, the latest darling. if somebody doesn't agree with AI and they don't want to use AI because of whatever reason, they just have differences with, dangers to humanity with AI or whatever, all legit ideas. Somebody doesn't want to adopt AI. How do they adjust their business in an AI currently driven world? So maybe they don't want to do it. And I talked to a man the other day who was very committed to an online project, and he has been working 12 hours a day on his project. And one day he came to this point of saying, I can't sit on my computer for 12 hours a day. The work that I'm doing has a great end, but in the middle, I'm dying on the vine. I'm not flourishing because I just can't do all of this all the time. Mm-hmm. And set up a side business called Transformational Journeys to help people transform through coaching. So he's figured out a way that he can fit that aspect of what brings him light and life to the other business, which was starting to steal his energy and his verve. So I think that if your business is connected for success or not, the question of, does the business fit me, is a valid question to ask along the way.
Very true. Wow. Great point.
Are there certain questions that you bring your clients through to navigate that thought process?
Yes. And one of the things is to look at where people have been. We tend to hide the experiences and relationships in our life that we didn't really like that much or that caused us pain. We tend to want to get rid of them. So if I use the mosaic as an image board, and you think of all the pieces in a mosaic that make the picture, you can't throw away half the pieces because the mosaic is pretty cruddy looking, right? You think about these beautiful mosaics. So if you think of yourself as a mosaic, you have all those pieces. Where do they all fit? How do they all connect to lead you where you really want to go, so that you can make your difference in the world, so that you can be happier, so that you can serve more people, whatever your piece is that you want to do more of. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I do is help people to look at their past. I mean, even going back to their genetics, epigenetics, and life experiences, relationships, the reasons why they've chosen the work that they've done, the reasons why they've fallen into the experiences they've had, and find something to take from that is valuable and valid for them. So that piece stays in their mosaic. And then when they come through all of that work, through this life map, for example, they can start to look at that in relation to the business they're doing, the work they want to do in the world, the difference they want to make, with, I think, much more strength and definitely a lot more confidence in owning the whole thing.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
I love that. That's really helpful.
It's almost like helping someone figure out their why.
Yeah.
Or it seems like a much more like an intense version of it, though, just because it gives you so much more.
Yeah, maybe it is more intense. And in other ways, I think it can be a little bit more fun, because I can honestly tell you my why is not clear as a bell. And I have
that's exactly what I'm thinking.
On the wobble for the why.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Because that question in itself, there's a lot that could be, loaded up in that. You're thinking about your mortgage payment right then and there. It doesn't account for the epigenetics like you're talking about. So that's a great point.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. And I think that when we spend so much time thinking on the thing that we are supposed to figure out, like, what's my purpose in life? I have one thing. What is it? If not, I haven't really lived. What if you could unshackle yourself from that message and say, hey, I'm completely living now, and here's why. And I have proof of it, because here are all the things that have made me me. And now what do we do with that? And for me, maybe I go in 5 different directions. That doesn't make much sense for other people, but it makes sense for me.
Yeah,
well said.
So
I love that. Man, sorry, this has me become extremely reflective.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to have it be that. We can go back to some straight and narrow stuff. Connected for success. Bring it home, right?
So yeah, we talked about connections as in network, connections as in systems in place to help you, run your business, navigate your business. Is there any other aspect that you feel like, now that you wish you would have known earlier on in your entrepreneurial pursuits that would have been helpful? Like maybe when your first year in that
my first year in as a life coach, I felt like I didn't, even though I had other years in living, I didn't feel like I knew enough. So I got bogged down by thinking I needed to follow somebody else's path because I didn't have mine figured out yet as a coach.
Mm.
So I adopted other people's programs and I kept buying programs. I kept feeling like, oh no, I can't even finish my sentence.
No, go ahead.
I felt like I had to always have somebody else's work instead of my own to guide me forward. And so if your business is connected for success, you're the guide. You are the guide. It's not out there. It's in you.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Well,
okay. So a couple of things. We're going to take this into overtime. Before we get into overtime, I just want to make one quick announcement. So guys,
so many of us want to write a book, but how do you make money from it? Well, I'm really excited because I'm giving my end-to-end strategy on how to earn a lucrative income and become a best-selling author. It's all happening for free on my masterclass on Thursday, August 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Make sure you go and grab the link in the description box.
Really excited. That's happening tomorrow. The link is in the description box. For anybody who joins from today from our show, I will actually send you a free copy of my book and I will sign it and send it to you. So go ahead and register today. But Pattie, this has been really, really insightful. And I think really helps us all to really take a look at our businesses and really think about this. I love how we ended on this, the why we're doing what we're doing, because perhaps it's not this one big calling, but it is the life that we're living, and just really thinking about what that looks like for each individual. And also, I would love for people to get connected with you because of the Be Connected. We have such a large entrepreneur audience. Yeah, I really want to make sure that people know that you can reach out to Pattie and get connected to Be Connected, because that is literally a platform for entrepreneurs. So we want to help our audience out as much as we can, and that's really a big deal too. She's a real person. Please reach out to her on all her social media links. You saw the email there. Really happy that you were with us, Pattie. Thank you so much. And then we're going to shoot over into overtime.
Absolutely. So till next time, as always, remember, you deserve the good life. Say that. We'll see you guys.